set you free. You say you need a hero, but don't put your faith in me. Don't put your faith in me. We'll get lost
How are we doing today, friends? YouTube, it's a new platform that we're going to be working on here, guys. And what you're seeing here is just going to be kind of a recap of what we talked about on Tuesday. So each week, what we're going to do here is you're going to see me putting out a new video each Tuesday talking about the topics of that coming night's stream. We're going to cover everything from, we've done things like trolls, we've done things like bullies, we've done things like last week talking about toxic people and cutting out these situations and these personnel that don't really benefit you, to coming topics will include mood swings, depression, and other disorders, and how to continue working through things online and Twitch and Mixer and whatever your streaming platform is, as well as dealing with stuff IRL to the best of the ability that we have experience with, as well as other fun topics too. But on top of that, what we're going to do here is afterwards, we're going to do these short little videos here where we're going to talk about what we talked about on those streams, the topics that we covered without all the notifications and all the dings and all the chat stops and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit faster paced. It's going to be a little bit more condensed. It's going to be kind of drop in and go, just so you can get a little bit of an idea of what it's like. And then hopefully you take something away from the video, something that brings you back. So moving forward, guys, we are going to try and keep this a little bit simple, a little bit low-key, kind of not nearly as formal as some of the things you'll see. And like I said, it's just kind of going to be a running recap of what we talked about on Tuesday. So this last Tuesday, we really focused on toxicity and how to cut it out of your life, and not just people, but situations as well. And what it comes down to is there are a couple of things you got to pay attention to. You got to pay attention to the signs. You got to know what to look for. You got to understand what you're actually fighting against. And then we talk about how to remove them. A couple different ideas for how to actually remove them, as well as a little bit. We'll touch base on how to actually remove family members, because sometimes, as much as it sucks, you do have to do that as well. But all in all, these things are incredibly hard, and the one thing that you really have to remember through all of this is it's a process. It's not easy, and the longer you've known someone, the longer something's been in your life, the harder it's going to be. Okay? So, guys, the big thing here is you have to remember that you're worth something. You're worth everything. You're absolutely priceless. And the people that don't see that, the people that don't understand that, the people that don't respect that, that's what you kind of want to get rid of. You want to pull that stuff and just get it out of your life. You don't want it anywhere near you. So, look at it this way, okay? We need to try and identify the type of situations, the type of people that are going to cause the issues for you the most. And, the biggest one to remember is they try and control you. Toxic people are always going to do things that elicit control for them. It could be something as simple as saying, well, we're going to do this because this is what I want to do. We're always going to do what I want to do because this is what I want to do. And there's a difference between someone taking charge and someone taking control. Okay, as a natural leader, it's really easy to say, okay, guys, I think we should do it this way. I think this would be the best course of action, and then they'll listen. Whereas toxic people tend to just say, okay, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going to be done, let's go. There's no chance for rebuttal. There's no time to listen or to come back on it. And you got to stay away from that. You really got to try and look for that too, because it's going to, shutting those situations down, going to make a world of difference for you. Okay? Toxic people tend to always want to play the victim. They don't want to take responsibility for the negative things that happen. This isn't my fault. Okay? This isn't what I intended. This isn't what we were trying to do. This wasn't my fault. I didn't do this. Doesn't work that way. There's always an equal and opposite reaction, right? Science has proven that. Scientific theory, what is it? That if you take part in something, an event, an option, you make a choice, it's partly on you, regardless of who else is involved. And the people that tend to just completely disrespect that and say that it's never their fault, that they don't have any part of it, that they're the victims in the situation, those people tend to be the ones you want to try and avoid. You kind of want to try and move around them the best you can, because identifying that is really going to make things easier for you in the long run. Okay? Toxic people tend to be dishonest as well. Okay? Not just bold-faced, lies. I didn't eat the pizza when they clearly have pizza sauce on their face. I swear, I took the trash out. No, we just did all of that today. Constant lying, the bold stuff like that, that's not always going to be there. Some people just, they lie because they don't want to get in trouble. But the simple truth is the lies go much deeper than that, okay? They like to save face for the moment and try and hide things. And you kind of gotta pay attention for that. Identifying the little things, the little lies that build up, it's going to help you out. Okay? Along with those lies, those little white, sometimes it's just simple as white lies. Other times it's as big as, the big things as who took the cookie from the cookie jar, But along with that, they're going to do a lot of taking without giving you anything back. They're going to take a lot of your time. They're going to take a lot of your energy. And you're not going to see any of it returned, or very, very minimal amounts returned. Short story point, I have a friend of mine who reached out the other night because she's in a tough spot dealing with someone who essentially has just completely drained her. She's so drained mentally that it's starting to take an effect on her physically, and I feel for her, but we've also come up with a plan to kind of help her get past that. Okay. And I gotta stress it again, guys. This is a process. It's gonna take some time. But when you identify those key little things, you identify the people that are trying to control you, the ones that completely disrespect boundaries and just constantly me, you're gonna start seeing the situations where you kind of want to walk away from and kind of push those aside, detour. Sometimes you have to take a detour from the way things are going. Yeah. This particular person and the situation she's dealing with, one of the things that really stands out about it is she knows that it's bad. She sees all the signs. She's dealt with it for an extended period of time, and she still just can't escape it yet. It's going to take some time, okay? It's going to take some time, but like I said, there are some ways to really, really cut things out, to cut these people out, and make sure that they're not destroying your future, the things that you want done, okay? Like I said, number one thing to remember, and I'm going to stress this every single time we talk about it, accept that it's going to be a process. It's going to take time. Nothing is going to be a flip of the switch, and you're not going to be able to fix it like that, okay? It's going to take you time, whether that's time to go through the whole process, or that's time to talk to them, or it's time to accept it, time to let it go yourself. It's going to take time. All right. If someone has come to the point where you know that it's a toxic situation, you know that you got to get rid of it, don't feel like you know them an explanation. Okay? You don't have to draw it out in the talking part of it. You don't have to, constantly state every single reason. You simply just have to say, I can't do this anymore. It's not worth it to me. Okay? I am worth more than the energy that I'm putting out here. I am worth more than what I have to put out here to keep up with you. That's all you have to do. All you have to do. The only problem with that really is a lot of times, almost all the time, people don't like rejection. They don't like when they lose. They don't like to lose things. And keep in mind, we're talking about people here who have to have everything, that have to take all and not give you anything in return. So I'm going to highly suggest that if you're going to do something like this, you want to talk about it, you want to make your point known for why you're taking a step back. Do it in a public place. Do it in a public place, and do not let alcohol get involved. Alcohol only skews senses, both for all parties involved and those around. You don't want that. It's only going to make things messy. Okay? Tell them you want to meet for coffee. Say we're gonna sit down. I got to talk to you about something. Meet me here at this time. That's it. Don't do more than that. The easier you make the process, the less you put into it, the better it's going to be for you in the long run, and the easier it's going to be for you to cut ties entirely. Okay? Once you have set a time, once you've set a place to talk to them and to finally let this all out, block social media. Guys, in today's day and age, social media is a great tool. Don't get me wrong. It is a great tool for networking and growth, whether you're trying to build on this platform or that platform. But it is also a cesspool of toxicity. It is so easy to say one thing and have it come back full circle in a very negative way on you. People will hold on to things because it's written there with millions of eyes able to access it at once. So when you're talking about cutting toxic people out, you avoid so many more situations by making it so that you cannot be contacted, that you cannot be bothered by these situations that you want to get rid of, that you want to escape from. If you contact someone, say through text message or through a phone call and say, hey, we're going to meet at this place, we need to have a conversation, block them on every other platform. Leave that one means of communication open, just so that you can make sure that your time and place is set. But block them on everything else. If you happen to be using Facebook Messenger for whatever reason, block them on everything else, including your phone, and use only Messenger for that one contact. If they skip out on you, they say that they can't make it, it wasn't on their schedule, then block that last means and be done with it. Just be done with it. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. A lot of times it's really going to be uncomfortable, but it's also really going to help minimize the damage in the long run. Okay? They make your meeting. They decide that they are going to show up, right? They're going to try and take control of their situation again. They're going to make sure that they get you back for whatever reason. Don't argue. Because if there's anything that controlling and toxic people like, it's they'd like to have that sense of direction in where things are going. They want to make sure that the path is going exactly where they want it to go. So you're going to make sure that everything that you do is clear, concise, and to the point. Don't drag it out. Don't make huge arguments. Don't bring rebuttal points. Just say, we're done talking. This isn't good for me. That's it. It's nice and easy. Okay, let's be fair. It's easier said than done, okay? And I get that. I definitely get that. Sometimes the situation requires much more drastic measures. Sometimes it's, it takes a move across the country. Hopefully it doesn't ever come to that for you guys. That's not a situation anyone wants to be in. But it is a possibility. It is something that you might have to consider. Creating the distance or the separation like that definitely makes it easier in the sense that you can't go running back to whatever it was. It takes a little bit more effort, and you have to try and plan it, and you're going to see that it's not worth it in the long run if you do that. So sometimes creating the distance isn't such a bad idea. The only major drawback to trying to cut all of someone out of your life is, if it's a relationship, if it's a bad friendship, if it's something like that, it's a little easier to walk away from this. But if it happens to be a family member, you're in for a fight. You're in for a long haul. And it's something it's something that you're never going to be able to fully accept. Cutting family members out of your life is easily one of the most challenging things that you're ever going to do. Hopefully you never have to do that. I'll tell you from experience, it's not fun. It sucks a lot. And that, above all else, is going to take time. It's going to be a process like no other. But you're, in the long run, again, time, later on, long run, it will be worth it because it'll show you personally the value that you have, okay? Keep in mind, cutting toxic people out of your life doesn't make you a bad person. It shows you and the people around you that you value yourself. It shows people that you hold your value above that of someone that's just trying to control you. Okay, it shows you the value of how much esteem you have, and that is always a good thing. Okay. There's a statement I used to say that said, X's are X's for a reason. And I say that because a lot of times these toxic people are going to try and find a way to weasel back into your life. They're going to want to try and weasel their way back into your life. And I'm not going to say that people aren't capable of change, because we all are. We're human. We're not perfect. We learn to adapt. We learn to grow. But if you run into a situation where you're not sure, take the time to step back and really look at everything. While we are capable of growing and changing, we are also creatures of habit, which means that if we're going to be doing something like that, if we've hurt someone to the point where they feel like they have to cut us out of our lives, there's a probable chance that we're going to end up doing it again to someone else. You have to kind of want to beckon change in order for that to happen. I'm going to say don't let toxic people back into your life. But, as always, there's always an exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule. It's something that you'll have to think about on your own. You'll have to weigh it out and kind of figure it out. But if you're going to, be cautious, take your time, and don't rush into anything. It's a lot easier it's a lot easier to step away if you're running slow than if you just full on bore straight into it. All right, guys. So cut the toxic people out, know your worth, and don't stop until you've gotten to where you want to be. There's very few things in life that are more important than taking care of yourself like that. Okay? Look for the signs, look for what's toxic, cut it hard and fast. Accept that it's going to take time. It's probably going to hurt a little bit. It's probably going to hurt a lot. It might make you feel pretty shitty, but it's also going to make sure that you are better off in the long run. All right? I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but this is one of those topics where I've got a fair bit of experience, and I'll tell you this much. It's hard, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. But when you start to realize, it makes it all that much better. The view from the top of the mountain is worth the climb. Okay? What that means is you put the effort into it, it's going to come back on you in a very, very good way. I'm definitely going to encourage you to take a look at the things that you don't think are working for you and fix them. The difference between a dream and a goal is a dream you're not willing to put the effort into training. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you listening. If you have any questions, hit the comments below. If you have any suggestions, hit the comments below. Follow on the other social media sites. And make sure you tune back every Tuesday for a new topic. All right? I appreciate y'all hanging out. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.